Hello, welcome to Palmistry Unplugged. This is the fourth of introductory talks about palmistry. And what I'm sharing with you is 30 years of what I've accumulated and what has come to me in regards to palmistry. Of course, I've written my book on palmistry, and that is for you. If you like to download my book, it would be much easier for you to follow what I'm saying. Today I want to talk about hand shapes. Now, when I first started reading palmistry books, the first chapters are usually about hand shapes, and I always found them to be like totally confusing. You know, there'll be philosophical hands, there'll be psychic hands, there'll be practical hands, there'll be all sorts of different types of hands. And the pictures always look the same. I was always very confused about hand shapes. So I developed a system, a very simple system, to determine the hand shape. And my system is based upon the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. And it's based upon the type of palm you have, the width of the palm. It's basically it's based upon this system, and it is pretty accurate, I must say. Also, I get a very good correspondence between the type of hand and the astrological sign, at least if it's earth, air, fire, or water. So now, what is it about hand shapes? Now, hands, how you grab the world, you know, and how your hands can grab the world actually shapes your personality. If you're having like 10 thumbs and you can't do anything and everything drops out of your hand, it's going to have an effect on your personality. So the hand shape tells a lot about capabilities. You have good thumb, good strong fingers, good length palm, and etc., etc. You know, you're going to have that confidence to grab the world and manifest and have results. So that is main characteristic of the hand shape. It is showing the basic foundation, you know, of what you're built upon, and then everything else is built up. Built upon that. So it is quite important. Now, the way I classify hands is through the palm. From the base of the satin finger, I hope that you can see that, from the base of the satin finger to actually the rings. There are some rings here which are called rasquettes, which we haven't got to yet. But I measure the palm in that way. So this length is the ground zero, or is the basis of my classification of hand shapes. So let's say, for example, this length from the base of the satin finger to the ring is 10 centimeters. Now 75% of that would be 7.5 centimeters. So it is considered normal in palmistry when you're measuring the hands, not just for my measurements, that a normal length of the fingers, for example, would be 75% of the length of the palm. So 75% of the length of a 10 centimeter palm is 7.5 centimeters. So that would be a normal length of what they consider a normal length of the palm finger. And so if the finger is shorter than that, it's considered short fingers. If it's longer than that, it's considered long fingers, right? So now there's now what's a very important consideration is this measurement, the width of the palm at the widest point here, from here to there. Now a hand can be classified either as being greater than 75%, or less than 75%, or right on the button at 75%. So if hands are greater than 75%, let's say this hand now had a width of 8.5 centimeters, that would be considered a broad hand. And the broad hands are the earth hand and the fire hand. Those are the broad hands. And then if the if the width of the palm is exactly 7.5, and you see that the palm has like a longitudinal shape to it. This mine is a fire hand and has a longitudinal shape. Then is considered either water hand or an air hand. Now we have one in between where the shape is slightly a little above the 75%, and it's not exactly an air hand, it's not exactly a fire hand, it's right in the middle, and that's the fifth category, which actually I call the balance hand, but in practical old style palmistry is called the practical hand. So those are the basic 5 hand shapes, and of course with that the fingers can be long and short, the thumb can be long or short, and we will get into that. So just to repeat, so a broad hand is either going to be a fire hand or an earth hand, and when it's a longitudinal hand, it's either going to be a water hand or air hand, and the one in between would be the practical hand. Now in my practice, the type of hands that I'm normally seeing are fire hands and air hands and practical hands. I'm very rarely seeing earth hands. It's just the social economic level that give readings to. If I go up to the Himalayas and look at the Himalayan ladies or men who are hill people, they will all have earth hands. So and water hands are I don't find them to be that frequent. Once in a while I get somebody with a water hand. And we will talk about exactly what I mean by the water hand by that time. So thank you for bringing my head. So I will leave you with that today. If you have gotten this far with me and enjoying to listen to my talks and my teachings, please subscribe to my channel. This is Palmistry Unplugged, and I really appreciate you joining me. All right, see you the next time. Thank you very much.